Welcome to the PVW Law Video Library. In this video, we will be discussing the basic questions you will want to answer in order to select the appropriate entity form for your business. The most common forms of business entities today are the sole proprietorship, general partnerships, limited partnerships, limited liability companies, and corporations. There are several factors that determine the best type of entity for your business. One of the most important reasons for forming an entity is to obtain liability protection. Before deciding the entity form, consider the types of liability exposure of the business being formed. Some owners have personal liability, such as malpractice liability, that will not be avoided by entity formation. However, most professionals are still well served by using a limited liability entity to limit exposure to other types of liabilities. When considering limited liability, determine whether it is important for all owners to have limited liability. In a general partnership, the general partner of a limited partnership has liability exposure that limited partners do not. Another important aspect of entity selection is tax treatment. The income of a sole proprietorship is reported directly on the tax return of the owner. A C corporation is taxed as a separate entity. An S corporation has flow-through taxation, which means that the income flows through to its owners and is taxed on the personal returns of the owners. A partnership is also a flow-through taxation scheme, but there are significant differences from the S corporation. Those differences will be discussed in more detail in a separate video. A limited liability company can elect to be taxed as a C corporation, an S corporation, a partnership, or as a disregarded entity. The next factor in determining the best entity for your business that we will discuss is where your business will be operated. Will the business be a service business such as a medical practice or a lawn mowing service that will operate primarily in one state? Will it be a construction company that may operate in a few states? Is the business to publish books that may be sold worldwide? If the business will be operated in more than one state, then the laws of each state of operation are important in narrowing down the best entity. Some states treat limited liability companies differently for tax purposes than the IRS. Some states have well-developed corporate law governing intellectual property rights or corporate governance. You will also want to determine the ownership of the business. Will there be one owner or a group of owners? Will the initial owners seek outside investors? Will there be trusts, corporations, or IRAs owning an interest in the business? Will all owners have the same voting rights? In addition to the types of owners, the number of owners will also matter in determining the best type of business entity. You will also want to consider how the new company will be financed. Will there be one person contributing cash and property? Are others contributing money or services? Will the business seek bank financing? When selecting your entity form, you will need to determine who will run the business. Will there be one person who runs all aspects of the business? Will all the owners be involved in running the business? Next, you must consider whether there will be different types of ownership interests in the business. Will all owners have the same rights to income? Will all the owners have the same rights to the assets of the entity upon liquidation of its assets? Finally, businesses in some regulated industries must look to the governing regulations in determining the type of business entity. For more detailed information on each of the different entity forms, please review our other videos in the PVW Law Video Library, our Tax and Business Law blog, and our articles in the Legal Articles and Information section of our website at pvwlaw.com. For easy assistance with entity formation, go to the Client Tools section of the PVW Law website and select Form Your Business to complete our intake form.